The following clip is about Rosanna, whose situation has become one of the longest running and most unsettling cases we've ever covered. She's tried everything, spoken to multiple paranormal experts, cleansed the house more times than she can count, switched rooms, switched routines, but instead of getting better, things have only escalated. Early one morning, Rosanna suddenly woke up after hearing the sound of a toy she was absolutely sure no longer worked. Confused, she grabbed her phone and went to check. Watch.
J'en ai marre, j'en ai marre, j'en ai marre. Ouais, ok. Alors le choupi, il est tout en haut de l'étagère là-bas. Et il ne marche plus. Voilà. Classique. Regarde, il est à 0.
Je suis là. Coucou, je suis là.
Il marchait plus.
Coucou, je suis là. Coucou, je suis là. Coucou, je suis là.
C'est super, j'ai peur.
Coucou, je suis là. Coucou,
Tais-toi.
je suis là.
Tais-toi. J'ai entendu.
Coucou, je suis là.
Je suis pas folle. J'ai entendu.
Je suis là.
Non, non. Je reviens pas.
At the time she was filming, she didn't see the shadow moving right in front of her. She only noticed it later when viewers pointed it out. And what made this moment even stranger is that the toy's batteries had been dead for months. So the fact that it suddenly switched on by itself, paired with that dark shifting shadow and then a faint voice saying hello from inside the bathroom, made everything feel a lot more intentional, almost like something inside that house was trying to get her attention. Viewers also pointed out something else. The bathroom door was open, and in a surprising number of paranormal cases, bathrooms are believed to be hotspots for activity. Some investigators say it's because bathrooms have mirrors, objects often tied to spiritual gateways. Others say it's the constant flow of water, since running water is believed in some traditions to attract or amplify energy. And a few believe it's simply because bathrooms are small, enclosed spaces where shadows and movements are easier to hide, and easier to miss. For Rosanna, it all adds up to one terrifying thought. Whatever is in her home is getting bolder. She's still searching for real help, especially because she wants to reunite with her kids, but she's terrified of exposing them to whatever this is. And until someone can confidently tell her exactly what she's dealing with, Rosanna remains stuck in a terrifying uncertainty, and this case remains completely unresolved. Now, in the following clip, a woman living deep in the Appalachian Mountains was recording a song when she suddenly felt like someone was watching her. She started hearing footsteps, soft, slow, almost pacing, and faint whispers she couldn't make out. Watch and listen closely.
Just had a whole chill go down my spine like I'm being watched. I feel really disoriented right now. I don't know which way I came in. I feel like someone's stalking me. Like I keep hearing people talking, but no one's here. See? Just me. I feel like you guys aren't my only audience.
A lot of viewers replayed that moment over and over, and some swear they heard a voice whisper, "Who are you?" right before the clip ended. It sounded low, masculine, almost like someone was standing just out of frame. And the moment her entire body went cold, she knew she had to leave immediately. But this wasn't a one-off moment. It happened again. This time, she was in her backyard practicing another song when something else happened. Watch this.
I'm in my backyard, so I can't. imagine anything would go wrong. Worst comes to worst, I'll run inside. So if someone or something is here, then it followed me home. It's really quiet. It's almost dark.
Right before she starts playing, you can see something peeking out from behind a tree. Just a quick flash of what looks like a face. And according to her, it didn't sound like an animal. It sounded like someone shifting their weight, someone trying not to be noticed. And here's where the debate starts. Some viewers believe she's dealing with a stalker or a person hiding in the woods. Because living in the Appalachian Mountains, you often hear stories of people who've gone off grid, loners who wander the forests, or strangers who watch without ever revealing themselves. Others think this is something far stranger, maybe one of those unexplained Appalachian legends people warn you about. But then you have believers who say the whispers, the peeking figure, and the perfectly timed rustling all feel too synchronized to be a random person. They think she's dealing with something not entirely human, something that's been watching her for a long time. So is this a person hiding in the woods, or something else entirely? I'll leave that for you to decide. In this next video, an unusual and honestly unsettling moment was caught on a security camera inside a morgue. Take a look. Right after this video went viral, plenty of health practitioners chimed in, saying moments like this are more common than people think. According to them, a corpse can sit up, make guttural noises, or even move slightly due to muscle contractions, nerve reflexes, or gas release. In the medical world, this isn't considered paranormal, it's just the last bits of the body reacting. But in the paranormal world, this is a completely different story. When a corpse sits up suddenly at the exact moment it's being attended to, many believe it's a sign of a spirit trying to re-enter the body, or a final attempt to communicate something that wasn't said before death. Some say it means the soul hasn't fully crossed over, lingering in a confused or restless state. Others believe morgues, because of what they hold, naturally attract spirits who hover between worlds, making them hotspots for unexplained activity. There are even theories that certain sudden movements may happen when a presence is near, influencing the body or the environment around it. And if you talk to longtime morgue workers, many will admit there are nights where the room feels crowded, even when every bed is still. So with all the debates, theories, and strange stories surrounding morgues, if you experience something like this right in front of you, what would you do? Now, in the following clip, a ghost hunter and his crew visited a house that once belonged to an elderly couple who had passed away, leaving the home abandoned for years. They were only just setting up in the living room when the investigators suddenly heard a sound coming from one of the back rooms. His first thought was simple, probably a rat, or maybe something blown over by a draft. But when he entered the room, this is what he saw.
Dar nu se vede nimic. Deci se aude, dar nu se vede. Mamă, frate, fii atent! Holy shit! Vai, nu mai știu să vorbesc. Nu mai pot, bă. Ce-o zis? Îmi pun oala în cap.
If it had been only the window, maybe, just maybe, he could have talked himself into a logical explanation. But the moment that old porcelain doll spoke, he knew immediately this wasn't about rodents or loose windows. something else was in that house, and it seemed to be slowly revealing itself piece by piece, like it wanted them to notice. From there, the activity grew stronger. Cold pockets of air kept passing between the crew members, and a picture frame on the wall kept tilting itself back and forth, almost like someone was trying to get their attention. Every sign pointed toward one truth. Something or someone was in that house with them. After doing a full sweep of the building and confirming no one else was inside, they decided to try communicating with whatever spirit was present. Take a look.
Dă tabloul la jos, poți? Ia să vedem că... Oricare spirit ai afla în balcon, oricare entitate, îți ordon să dai tabloul la jos cu doamna Timea. Băga mea și pula în dracu, gata, eu nu ți-am plecat acasă. Am băgat pula mea.
When he asked the spirit to pull down the picture frame, and it actually happened, viewers immediately began theorizing.
Mare, cheamă să plăc. Hai de pula mea. Vai de ca, hai să plecăm, Ionuț.
Some believe the spirit was trying to show anger or frustration. Others think it was simply responding to acknowledgement, grateful that someone finally noticed its presence. A few even suggested the frame might hold a photo or memory tied to the couple who once lived there, and pulling it down was its way of pointing to unfinished business. The crew then tried something else, hoping to gather information about the spirit's story.
Since when are you dead?
Prizonier.
Doamne, prizonier a fost în război.
Give me a number.
Leonard.
Radar.
Bă, să dea dracu, eu vorbesc în engleză și răspund în română, mă.
Și când o întreb,
Sometimes spirits who struggle to move on aren't staying because they want to. Some linger out of confusion, unable to accept that they've passed. Others stay because of emotional attachment, a memory, a person, an object they're tied to. And in some rare cases, they remain because they're waiting, hoping for someone to help them finish something they never could in life. The investigators kept communicating, testing the spirit's responses, checking how active and aware it truly was.
Ana Maria, închide ușa aia, o leacă, dacă poți.
Ana Maria, Ana
Ia, marș de aici, Ionuț.
Ce ai, mă? Nu, dar să te vei
Băi, s-o închis ușa, tu ești nebun la cap?
Ce, bă? Hai, chiar ai.
Fortunately, their experience that night was calm. The spirit didn't try to lash out or attack. Instead, its interaction seemed intelligent, almost purposeful, like it had a message but couldn't express it fully. But why it still lingers in that house, why it hasn't crossed over, is something the team hasn't been able to uncover yet. So until they figure it out and share more updates, this one remains unsolved. This clip is about a delivery guy who, in his own words, lives life one day at a time. But recently, his days have been anything but ordinary. For months, he's been trying to explain the strange things he's seen and heard while on the job. But every time he shares his stories, his friends either laugh or brush it off as him being dramatic. Everything changed on the 14th of September, 2022, when he was assigned to deliver at a newly developed site with fresh, unfinished buildings. The place looked quiet, almost too quiet, but as soon as he entered one of the buildings, he began hearing strange sounds echoing from deep inside, footsteps when nobody was there, faint voices that seemed to vanish the moment he tried to follow them. At first, he ran out, unsettled, but he couldn't shake the feeling that what he heard was real, so the very next day he went back, this time not for work, but for proof. Have a look.
I'm at this house in somewhere North Carolina. Brand new house. Just has been built. And I was making a delivery here yesterday. I kept hearing something upstairs. And I'm the only one here. I was here by myself. But something kept bumping around up here. Sounded like somebody was walking across the floor. So today we're gonna come check it out. See what it could be. It's kind of odd. Nobody's here. I'm here by myself. Nobody's around. Every single room is empty. Close it. I don't see anything that would have been moved or could move that's up here loose or anything. See, nobody's here. Nobody's hiding anywhere. Nope, nobody. Nobody. See? Now who the hell is crazy now? Did you hear that thump? See, I'm here by myself. Nobody's here. Just me. What the hell? See, nobody's here. What the hell was that? It's a brand new damn house. Nobody's here. We'll go over in a minute. Still gotta make sure so everybody doesn't think that I'm crazy. I have somebody here with me. Nobody's here. Just me. Nobody's here. He's back out to the hall. Nobody's here. Let's see what could be going on. See, nobody's here. There's nothing possible that could be bumping around by itself or thumping. Nobody, nothing. No animals, no nothing. So strange how a brand new house is already haunted. Now, let's see. I just needed proof. But yet again, nobody's here. Proof.
What he recorded stunned even him, and now he's sure that the noises weren't just in his head, they were real, and now undeniable. But he's still worried his friends will dismiss it as edited audio or coincidence, so his plan is simple: bring them along next time. Because sometimes, he says, people only believe what they can see and feel themselves. The following video was captured about 20 years ago by a man who lived in a flat that was built on the same ground where the old gallows once stood. From the moment he moved in, he's had that constant uneasy feeling of being watched. One night, he finally caught something weird happening. Watch this.
Has it started again?
Stopped. Away again. Explain that. That's freaky. Is anybody there? Oh, fuck that.
He wasn't the only one who felt that way either. Other tenants talked about hearing heavy footsteps pacing the corridors at night, and one neighbor even claimed she'd woken up to see a shadowy figure standing by her window. The shape of a man, head bent slightly forward, like he had a noose around his neck. This clip might not seem that crazy now, but back then, it terrified everyone who saw it. After he posted it, more people who had lived in that same building began sharing their own stories. Things they'd buried for years because they thought no one would believe them. Skeptics would have their usual explanations, but for the man who recorded this and the neighbors who lived through it, there was no question about it. Now in this next clip, a dad shares a seriously disturbing video he captured after weeks of strange comments from his son. The boy would randomly say things like, "Dad, I saw a man in the room." Sometimes it was the bedroom, other times the corridor, and once he even said the man was in the kitchen. At first the dad brushed it off, thinking his son was just being playful or had an overactive imagination. But then little signs started popping up that made him wonder if maybe his son wasn't imagining things at all. Toys were showing up in weird places, doors that were definitely shut would be open in the morning, and sometimes he'd catch his son staring at an empty corner of the room, his eyes following something invisible. That's when he decided to take it seriously. He went around checking every lock and window, making sure no one could sneak in. He even installed cameras in the house just to be sure, and one night, the footage captured something he still can't explain. Watch this. You can see a white figure standing there before it disappears, and you see all the doors were locked, nothing was tampered with, and there was no sign of a break-in. He's trying hard not to jump to the conclusion that his house is haunted. That's why he posted the clip online, hoping for a rational explanation. Some people suggested maybe it's a lost loved one keeping an eye on his son, but even that idea unsettles him, because if it is a spirit, friendly or not, why does it keep showing up? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Ever since this next clip was posted online, the debate of paranormal or not has been going strong. But before you pick a side, here's the backstory. The woman who shared this says for weeks now, previous tenants had moved out in such a hurry. They didn't take their curtains, their mail kept showing up, and according to a neighbor, they left in the middle of the night after something happened. No one ever said what. A few weeks later, this happened. Watch.
It wasn't even that. That door was completely latched. I heard the latch click and then open. Listen. This. And then it just opened. And I was standing on that stair. So I was like, called my daughter, no answer. Called my mom, no answer. My mom is literally in bed. My daughter is literally in her apartment. This is like a farmer's latch, okay? nobody can explain. I hope nobody followed me in the house and they're hiding behind the recliner or some shit. See how I latched it? Listen. Pull it hard. Latch. Go. Very bizarre. It's never happened in 47 years. Not a warm, fuzzy feeling.
She says she was home alone. No wind, no one outside, nothing that could explain it. And ever since that night, she hasn't been able to stop thinking about it. Now, here's where the debate really starts. Some viewers say there's no reason to panic unless the dog panics. And in this clip, the dog seems perfectly calm. So to them, this couldn't possibly be paranormal. But the other side of the argument is much more convincing. They believe the incident she's describing, the door unlatching and opening, actually happened before she started recording, meaning whatever caused it had already come and gone. So of course, the dog looks calm now. So which of this do you agree with, and why? In this next clip, a man had to set up 2 cameras, plus a real-time EVP and a paranormal communication app, all in just one room, because of the insane stuff happening in there. Take a look.
I lived here. Buried. Up here. She's hiding. Key.
You'll notice the top drawer of the desk slides open and shuts on its own, then the pen holder rattles and moves. Moments later, the ceiling light above starts swinging like a pendulum, even though nothing in the room is moving. In the background, there's a faint banging sound, and you can clearly hear the EVP pick up a chilling phrase. "I lived here," but that wasn't the end. Right before the EVP said "up here," faint scratching sounds came through the mic. And then the part that made some viewers freeze. A shadow figure briefly appeared. Most people would have left it at that, but this clip kept going. The lights began flicking on and off by themselves. The chair slowly turned, and even the heavy armchair against the wall moved. After posting this clip online, viewers urged him to research the property's history. The only thing he found was that the house sat on what used to be dense forest land. No cemeteries, no known murders, no documented tragedies, just endless trees. Some think that's exactly the point, that the forest itself held onto something, and when it was cleared for houses, it stayed behind, trapped. Others argue there's a hidden story about the land no one's uncovered yet. For now, the connection between the activity in his home and the land it sits on remains a mystery. This next video was captured by a woman who finally had to speak out about the constant wall knocking she's been dealing with for weeks. Listen closely. At first, you'd probably think it's just someone working with a hammer, but here's the weird part. This wall doesn't connect to any other room or house. It's an exterior wall facing straight into her backyard. And at the time of the recording, no one was outside, no construction was happening, nothing. She even explained that her windows were shut, no breeze in the house, nothing loose that could rattle or bang. And although the video doesn't quite capture it, she says that in real life, the sound was coming from right beside her ear, inside the wall, not above or below. She tried looking it up online and found answers like water pipes, but no faucets or showers were running, and she has no pipes at all running through that section of the wall. Maybe it's a rodent, but to her it didn't sound like scratching or chewing. It sounded like a human hand knocking. And now, with her house turning 100 years old this year, she can't help but wonder if something, or someone, from its past is still trying to make itself heard. But, like always, I'll leave it to you to decide. Construction, coincidence, or something else entirely. In this next clip, an explorer went on a ghost hunt at the Randolph County Infirmary, a place once home to the poor, the mentally ill, and the elderly. Over the years, visitors have reported all kinds of strange experiences here, and during his visit, this explorer captured something on camera that's still hard to explain to this day. Take a look.
Wait, did you really do that? Did you hear something?
Some believe what we're seeing is the ghost of a former patient, maybe someone confused, lost, or simply reliving a moment from their time there. But others think that explanation doesn't make much sense. Why would a ghost run? Some viewers argue that spirits tied to trauma or panic often replay their final moments, like a loop of energy trapped in time, which could explain the movement. So, what do you think? Is this energy from the past still trapped in those halls, or just another case of the mind trying to make sense of something it can't explain? You've probably come across the video of the lady in this next clip, Silva, sharing her story on this channel about how the devices in her house suddenly started malfunctioning even when they were completely unplugged. She's also said this isn't the first time. According to Silva, the house she lived in before this one had strange things happening too, but back then, it wasn't the electronics. Watch this. You can see the blanket moving in a strange way, and judging by the dog's reaction, something was definitely not right. But the part that really made Silva panic was when her dog stopped barking and started growling, a sign even animals were on edge. Watch this. Now, in her new apartment with the appliances acting up, Silva's starting to think she'll never get it right when it comes to choosing a home. But is that really the case? You decide. In the following video, a man known for being blessed with sight, the rare ability to perceive things beyond the physical realm, visits yet another reportedly haunted house, one that's left its owners sleepless and terrified. They've complained about lights flickering violently in the middle of the night, furniture dragging across the floor on its own, children's laughter echoing through empty rooms, and the constant feeling of being watched from dark corners. Hoping to understand what's been tormenting them, he decided to visit. From the moment he arrived, he began sensing several energy shifts. Watch this.
Maybe some of these objects were haunted. What the Yo, this is moving and this is moving. Why isn't this one moving? I'm used to this shit already. You know what I mean? Like, if don't follow me home. Can you stop this? Stop it right now. Stop. It's going even faster now. Look at this shit. And this one's perfectly. There's no wind at all. Look at the trees outside. feel nothing negative though. But anyways, man.
According to him, the more fear a person shows, the stronger the activity becomes. He believes that spirits feed off fear, and that being terrified only invites them closer, almost like they draw energy from human emotion to manifest more clearly. This belief, he says, is what allows him to remain calm and confront the entities head on. But the next house he visited wasn't so quiet. The property's dark history involved a woman and her dog who tragically passed away inside. Ever since, the new residents have reported seeing a woman's shadow moving from room to room, often followed by the faint sound of paws on the hardwood floor. When he arrived at the house, this happened.
Cutting some stuff, but yeah, this is one of the houses. Shit, the hell is it? What the Yo. Ow, look at that. Yo, the door just shut on me. So she passed away?
That's why when I'm talking, I'm talking to her because she did that with the other door to me.
Because I've been getting the chills all, like, the whole time I've been here.
Yeah.
And I actually seen a dog, like an apparition of a dog right here. Like a little dog, like yours.
Oh, really?
Right here, yeah, and I was like, right here, right in this area. She had a dog too, huh?
She had a dog, yeah, but I don't know what kind. I think it was a small dog.
Yeah, because I see on jobs, some houses I see things, like some houses they're like with spirits.
Yeah.
Whew, but that door just shut. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm used to it by this. I mean, I'm always working in houses that have stuff in them.
Well, I guess because all these homes are old.
They're old and they're by trees. They say trees hold a lot of spiritual stuff
really?
in water. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. So that was the homeowner's family member, and she's also sensitive like me. She sees it too, and she talks. I explained to her, the lady I seen her, she said, yeah, that's her aunt, so I'm not crazy. Anyways, I'm out of respect, I'm gonna stop recording, because that's her aunt and her living relative. God bless everybody.
For those blessed or cursed with sight, reality, and the unseen world overlap. So when he says he saw something, maybe he truly did. But, as always, I'll leave you to be the judge. Now in this next clip, a guy named Josh has been hearing strange noises around his home for several nights. Soft tapping on his walls, doors creaking open on their own, and the faint sound of breathing right behind him whenever he's alone. So this time, he decided to grab his camera and check it out. Watch this.
I keep hearing shit downstairs. Rustling stuff. So maybe we'll check it out. Shouldn't be anybody here but me.
There was somebody in our house. By the way.
Go away.
If you look closely, you'll notice it. a dark figure standing perfectly still. But what really sent chills down everyone's spine was the moment it rushed toward him, followed by the violent force on the door, as if whatever was out there was trying to break through. Some viewers think Josh might be dealing with a shadow entity, a type of spirit said to attach itself to people rather than places, feeding off fear until it gains enough energy to manifest physically. Others think it could be the spirit of someone who died in the home, trapped between worlds, trying to make itself known. But the scariest theory is that Josh may have invited something in unknowingly, and now it refuses to leave. The video sparked a huge debate online about whether or not he should sage the house, but one viewer who claimed to be a paranormal expert took things further. According to them, Josh would need a Reiki master for cord cutting, a shaman for a full blessing, and a physical medium for cleansing and removal. They added that the house should be smudged with sage from top to bottom, starting in the attic and working down to the basement, making sure to cover every reflective surface and window. Every doorway and windowsill should be lined with salt. Afterward, Josh would need to ground himself by standing barefoot in the grass for at least 15 minutes before re-entering the home. Finally, he should use holy water, drawing a cross on his forehead, another on each mirror, and sprinkling it over his bed and the most active parts of the property, and continue smudging daily until proper help arrives. So, what do you think? Would any of that really make a difference, or is Josh dealing with something beyond cleansing? In this next video, a ghost hunter named Jake decided to investigate a haunted museum, and what he caught on camera is downright terrifying. Watch this.
Haunted museum, guys. Here's Sully the dog. The goat. Look at that face, bro. Sully, speak! All right. This is where the Shadow Man was caught on camera, guys. This is a county museum, and we've heard all kinds of things in here. Footsteps, doors slamming. Oh my god, creepy ass mannequins, dude. Hello? Okay. Guys, we've seen so many ghosts here. My dad actually captured a ghost on camera. We're gonna go into that room right now. We've seen the Shadow Man here. That's what he caught. You know what? I'll put the clip at the end of this video, so watch the end, and you guys will see the clip of the Shadow Man. I swear I just saw movement in the mirror, dude. Did anybody else see that? Back here is where the Shadow Man was captured, guys. It was caught right here, walking up these stairs. Anybody? What was that? Okay, screw this. Here's the footage of the Shadow Man, guys, and if you're still watching, hit that follow button and click on the live stream because I am probably live right now.
The movement, the strange noises, and the heavy stillness in the air made the whole place feel wrong. And for a moment, even Jake, who's been to dozens of haunted locations, admitted that something about this museum felt different. But maybe it shouldn't be so surprising. Museums are often said to be some of the most haunted places in the world. After all, they're filled with ancient artifacts, objects once owned or used by people long gone, some connected to death, war, or sacred rituals. Many paranormal investigators believe these items can hold residual energy, like emotional imprints of the past, replaying themselves over and over. Others think spirits can attach themselves to the objects that mattered most to them in life, especially if those items were stolen or disturbed. So was Jake picking up on one of those restless presences? Or was it something else entirely? Until more people come forward with similar experiences from the same museum, this one remains an open, unsettling mystery. The following video was recorded by paranormal explorer Nikolai inside an old abandoned house rumored to be deeply haunted. But during his exploration, something completely unexpected caught him off guard. Have a look.
So this is creepy. We're here breaking down the haunted house for the season. Just casually was walking over here. Just noticed that there's something by the cone.
Do you want to play with me and all my friends? Come out wherever you are.
This was not in the corn maze. This was not in the house.
Why do you look so scared? Everyone in the graveyard just wants to be friends.
No idea where this came from, and it's powered up.
I love the cemetery, especially at midnight, when it's colder, when the other children are long asleep, and the dead awaken.
Yeah,
Do you want to play with me and all my friends? Come out, wherever you are.
That's gonna stay there. That's, yeah. That's gonna stay there. I don't know where it came from. And yeah, this is the life of working at a haunted house.
The look on the doll's face, and even worse, the words it was saying, were beyond unsettling. The tone of its voice, the unnatural way it moved. It was like the doll wasn't just repeating something pre-recorded, but actually trying to communicate. Some viewers even said it seemed aware of Nikolai's presence, almost responding to him directly. The creepiest part? The doll didn't seem finished. It kept moving its head slightly, like it had more to say. Something Nikolai wasn't willing to stick around to hear. Shaken, he quickly left the house, saying he'd return another day to finish exploring. But after that encounter, he could only hope that when he does, that doll won't be waiting for him again. In this next video, a woman shares old footage from when she lived in a house she believes was haunted. Watch this. She says it started with whispers in the night, faint voices calling her name when everyone else was asleep. Then came the slow knocks on her bedroom wall, the kind that seemed to wait for her to answer. Some nights she'd wake to find her door wide open even though she'd locked it, or her TV suddenly turning on, blaring static into the dark. There were moments she'd spot shadows gliding across the hallway when she knew she was alone. And once, she found every cabinet door in her kitchen standing wide open, as if someone or something had been searching for something. Whatever was in that house didn't just want to be noticed, it wanted to be heard. So was she dealing with a mimic, a trapped spirit, or something far darker? You decide. In this next clip, Kyle, a guy who's become somewhat known online for sharing his ongoing paranormal experiences, hears strange noises coming from his attic one night. Curious, and maybe a little nervous, he decides to grab his camera and check it out. Watch this.
Y'all watch this and tell me what the hell it is. Is it cobwebs, a glitch, or a ghost? You tell me. I don't even really give a shit anymore. I don't care. I don't care if it's a ghost. I don't care if it's a cobweb ghost. Just keep your ass up there and shut the fuck. I haven't been posting lately because I've been trying to ignore this shit to see if it'll make it stop. But it ain't working. But in other news, I'm working on a new book. I think I'm going to post about that. I think it's a pretty good idea. Takes place in a funeral home. I'll have some words about that soon.
After sharing the footage, many viewers who studied it closely believe Kyle might be dealing with two mischievous childlike spirits, entities that enjoy playing tricks, moving small objects, and causing harmless chaos, but never actually bring harm. Still, living with something annoying doesn't sound exactly comforting. Some, however, warned him to set boundaries immediately, saying that even playful spirits can turn restless or aggressive if ignored for too long, especially when they start feeling too at home. One comment even mentioned that child spirits aren't always what they seem, and that something darker might be disguising itself behind that innocent laughter. So, what do you think? Are these harmless pranksters, or something pretending to be? Now, in this next video, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration through one of Nebraska's most haunted places, the Argo Hotel. This time, he made his way to the Old Bar area, a section of the building where countless visitors have reported seeing objects move on their own. As his camera rolled, a glass sitting perfectly still on the table suddenly slid forward, as if an invisible hand had just given it a gentle push. But while that was already unsettling enough, something else happened that took Ian a moment to even process.
This whole place is giving me the heebie-jeebies. Is there anything else that you'd like to do? Alright, well, I'm definitely gonna leave a still camera in here to record to see if anything else happens when I'm away.
He had actually left the camera running while exploring other parts of the building, so when he later reviewed the footage and saw what occurred in that empty room, his unease grew tenfold. There was no one else inside, no wind, no vibrations, just the quiet, eerie stillness of a haunted bar and that unexplained movement caught on camera. The Argo Hotel continues to prove why it's one of the most active sites in the Midwest. And if this is what happens when no one's around, it makes you wonder, what else happens when the cameras aren't rolling? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video is about a man you might remember from previous clips on this channel, the guy with the haunted teddy. Well, it looks like things have taken a new turn. Whatever was tormenting him before seems to have moved on from the teddy, and is now targeting other things in his house. Watch this.
Me acabo de acostar, pero hay algo que lo escucho. Hay alguien corriendo. ¡Basta! 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 Aparece, basta. Aparece. Salí. Yo no te tengo más miedo. No te tengo más miedo. Aparece. ¿Qué es eso? Estoy viendo ahí. ¿Qué es eso? Estoy viendo ahí. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás?
He keeps hearing strange noises, thuds, whispers, taps, and now even the doors are starting to act out on their own. It's like every time he thinks he's close to solving one mystery, another one shows up to replace it. So what do you think he's dealing with this time? Something attached to him? Or just the house itself? In this next clip, a guy named Mosh was streaming with friends when they noticed something unusual happening in the background. Have a look.
This is a pig challenge. No sweat. Get it? Pigs don't sweat. You got this.
The TV, which he even got up to confirm was completely unplugged, suddenly turned itself on and off. Some people believe the unplugged TV reacting like that could mean there's a strong electromagnetic presence, maybe even paranormal. Others say it might have stored a little residual charge and was reacting to interference from nearby devices. But then there's another angle that started a whole debate online: the fact that one TV was facing another. Some say that creates an energy loop, a kind of mirror effect that can attract strange occurrences or even confuse spirits. So, what do you think? Was it a simple tech glitch, or did Mosh accidentally open some kind of strange loop between two worlds? Now, in this next clip, a family was out trying to find a nice park to spend the day with the kids. But for some reason, every park they searched for online either didn't exist or was closed. After driving around for a while and realizing they might have been scammed by Google Maps, they decided to ask people around, only to be told they had the wrong address. Not wanting to disappoint the kids or get an earful from his wife, the husband quickly came up with a plan B. He figured there's gotta be another park somewhere close by. So he stopped to ask someone on the road, and the guy told him, yeah, there's a park not too far from here. Well, there was one, but when they finally got there, nobody felt like having a park day anymore. Watch this.
Daripada tadi dah berhenti.
Kau buat apa Ha? Orang dah tak ada. Kau boleh bergoyang sendiri pula kau ni. Aduh, petang-petang ni. Laju pula tu.
To be fair, you can't really blame the person he asked. He wasn't lying, there was a park. The husband just didn't specify whether he meant a family park or a possibly haunted do not enter type of park. Next time, maybe clarify that part. But back to the clip. The place was completely empty, not a single soul in sight. And then that swing started moving on its own. Yeah, that pretty much killed the whole family picnic vibe. What about you though? Would you still hop on one of those swings? I'd love to know. This next clip was recorded by a mother, and once again, another parent joins the growing list of people who believe children really can see things we can't. Because, as always, there are two sides to this argument. Critics often insist that kids only imagine what they can't explain, that it's a mix of overactive imagination, sleep patterns, and suggestive environments. Some even say parents often project their own fears or grief onto what the child says or does. But then there are parents like the woman in this next video, people who have witnessed things they can't rationalize no matter how hard they try. And for her, this particular moment was the one that changed everything. Take a look.
¿Qué pasó, mamá? ¿Se entiende? Luna. Regina, ¿a quién le hablas, mami?
Now, here's the story behind what you just saw. Sadly, the year she lost her first daughter, Luna, only a few weeks later, she found out she was pregnant again. It was a bittersweet moment, mourning one child while preparing to bring another into the world. The baby, named Regina, never met Luna. She was born into a quiet house where Luna's name was rarely spoken, not because they didn't love her, but because the grief was still too raw to revisit. But when Regina began talking, something strange started happening. She would wander around the living room, smiling and pointing at nothing, whispering the name Luna. At first, her mother brushed it off as baby talk until the words became clearer. Luna, she'd say, giggling, waving her tiny hands, and sometimes even running toward a corner of the room as if someone was waiting there. Many would say maybe she overheard her parents talk about Luna once, or maybe she saw a picture, but according to the mother, that's not the case. So how did she know it? Well, that was years ago. Fast forward to now, and things have only gotten stranger. Regina still mentions Luna, but lately what she sees doesn't seem as playful as before. Watch this.
¿Ya? ¿Ya nos dormimos? Mami, vámonos. Vente, vamos a dormir ya, corazón. ¿Por qué te vas para allá, mi amor? Vámonos ya, vente. Vente, vámonos a dormir ya. Vámonos. Regina, vámonos ya. Vente, mi amor. Vente. Vamos a... ¿Qué pasó? Ay, Dios mío. Ceñito. Vamos a dormirnos, mi amor, por favor.
Y luego esto.
¿Qué? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Estás bien? Regi, agarra tu juguete, mi amor.
This time, viewers started noticing something the mother didn't catch at first. The door with the glass panel in the background. Something about it just felt wrong. Some viewers swore they saw a faint shape move behind it. Others claimed they saw a hand press lightly against the glass for just a second before vanishing. The comments flooded in. Hundreds of people telling her to check that door, to record from a different angle, to maybe even bless the house. So she made a follow-up video to explain.
Para mí, el que mi hija se haya quedado adentro de mí, nunca salió de mí, nunca, nada ni mínimo salió de mí. Para mí tiene un valor muy especial, tiene un significado muy mío. Espero que me entiendan y que no piensen que estoy loca. Para mí protegió a Regina porque el diagnóstico era muy malo. O sea, créanme que estuvimos en mucho peligro Regina y yo. y fue nuestro ángel, literalmente fue nuestro ángel y así lo veo. Y desde chiquitita Regina tiene eso de que platica, ve a alguien y yo estoy muy al pendiente, les agradezco esa preocupación que tienen de que probablemente sea otra cosa y yo estoy siempre encomendando a mis bebés, a mis hijas en general, a Dios, pero mi corazón de madre me hace sentir como un sentimiento bonito de que si no es Luna, probablemente es alguien, su angelito que está jugando con ella. No siento nada negativo, pero les agradezco su preocupación.
She said she doesn't believe it's anything evil, that whatever's happening doesn't pose a threat. She admitted that she's not sure it's Luna, but she believes it could be Regina's guardian angel, maybe someone sent to watch over her. "We're safe," she said in that video, trying to reassure her audience, but not long after, everything changed again. The same mother who once calmly explained the situation came back visibly shaken, this time asking for help.
¿Qué pasó? Ay, Dios, ahora sí me asusté. ¿Qué pasó? Ay, Raichi. Bueno, yo me estaba bañando y la dejé en el cuarto solita, con el cuarto cerrado. Y cuando me estaba bañando, oigo que grita y la veo ahí paradita, pero aquí gritando y haciéndole así con la mano, no, no. Obviamente me salí lo más rápido que pude, abrí la puerta, pues no hay nadie, mis hijas están dormidas y no hay nadie. Y está como asustada. Antes de que agarrara el teléfono, así con la manita le decía, no, no. Igual yo siempre encomiendo a mis hijas, a Dios. Aquí tengo mi Biblia, mi angelito, y siempre encomendada a Dios. Y no sé qué asustó a Regina mientras yo me estaba bañando. Y no es tan tarde, son las 7:28. Vente, mi amor. ¿Estás bien? ¿Estás bien? Vámonos. Vente. Mira, apunta para allá. ¿Qué, mi amor? Vámonos. ¿Qué, mi amor? ¿Qué hay? ¿Qué pasó? Ven, amor. Ven, amorcito. Vente. Venga, mi niña. It's okay.
It's no longer about innocent pointing or quiet conversations. Now, Regina's screaming. The mother says the little girl wakes up in the middle of the night, pointing at corners of the room, crying, saying no over and over again. The only thing the mother's holding on to now is her Bible and her prayers, but it's getting worse.
Ya, mi amor, tranquila. Tranquila. Aquí estoy. Dame la mano. Aquí estoy, tranquila. Literalmente, el agua sigue corriendo. Me estoy bañando. Mi teléfono lo tenía ahí, pero lo quise agarrar inmediatamente. Ella estaba aquí jugando conmigo, jugando con sus juguetitos. Y otra vez lo mismo. Un grito y apuntando para allá. ¿Qué pasa, mi amor? ¿Qué hay allá? Ay, Dios mío. ¿Qué pasó, mi amor? ¿Allá? No. Vámonos al cuarto. No. Ok. ¿Qué, Regi? No, mi amor, ven. Ay, Dios mío. No sé, ya no sé ni qué pensar. Me trae para acá. Aquí ya tengo súper iluminado. Ven, mi amor. Aquí está como dejé toda media. Ya no sé ni qué pensar. Ya la acosté, ya se acostó con su hermana. Pero ya, o sea, ya es mucho. Ya es mucho, ya no sé qué pensar. La casa está relativamente iluminada, es de noche, ya van a ser las 9, ya nos vamos a dormir. Está iluminado aquí, está iluminado allá, aquí. Tengo esa luz también a medias, no la voy a tener tampoco completa. Pero ya no sé ni qué pensar.
It's hard to say what's really going on here, whether this is a haunting, a guardian spirit, or something else entirely. But one thing's for sure, this is a concerned mother who just wants her daughter to be okay. So what do you think? Is Regina really seeing her sister Luna, or something much darker pretending to be her? In this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian visits one of the most unsettling places he's ever explored, the old Berlin tannery factory. For years, locals have claimed the place is haunted by a spirit they call the Toucher, said to scratch, grab, or lightly brush against anyone who dares to walk its halls alone. And on this visit, Ian was about to find out why. When he arrived, he steadied his nerves and began moving toward the catwalks, the same ones where, according to local workers, a man had tragically fallen to his death decades ago. The air was thick, heavy, and Ian said it felt like someone was right behind him with every step. Then, this happened.
Oh wow, check out that truck. That thing looks like it's from like the 1950s. Boy, they got all kinds of cool stuff down here. Whoa. Look at that, that's like a Ouija board. That is freaky. That trailer is a planchette. Dude, just imagine if that thing moved around like a planchette. Holy crap. Yeah, I don't use those things. Bad juju. I came from in here. And there's the catwalks. Is that you in here? Are you working? Dude, it sounded like footsteps up there. Like hard, heavy footsteps. Oh my God. My heart is racing. But as you can see, there is no one up there. Is it alright if I come up there? Am I authorized? Could you make a noise to let me know? Shoot, well, I'm coming up anyway. Hope you don't mind.
Now, was that a good idea? Maybe not, because right after that, he took out his spirit box and climbed the stairs to the upper level. And what he heard next still spooks him till this very day.
I ain't got a light. Whoa. That was a man's voice right there. Are you saying your name? Who are you? Whoa. Sir, why do you still haunt this tannery? But you said railing. Railing. Like fell over the railing. Are you saying that you died on these catwalks? And that you fell? Whoa. It sounded like that's what happened. Jesus, this is so crazy. Thank you, sir, for communicating with me. Is there anything you would like to say? Sounded like it said work. Are you going back to work? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get back to work then, if that's the case.
He froze, then slowly turned to leave, trying to shake off the chill creeping up his spine. But before he could take another step, something happened.
That was insane communication. He literally just said how he died. And that's what they say. They say that a worker died here. That totally makes a lot of sense. Whoa, whoa, what the hell? Something just moved down there. Holy shit. Oh my God. Just look at that. What is that? That's like a cart. And it just freaking moved.
Ian stepped away, nearly tripping over a metal pipe. Could it have been the wind? He whispered under his breath, but the look on his face said it all. Deep down, he already knew the answer. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following clip was recorded in a Colombian mall by a man who works there. Before he got the chance to record this clip, several people had approached him talking about the weird things happening in the restroom. So one day, when he and some of his colleagues were sure no one else was in the mall, they decided to go and give it a look. Watch this.
Bueno, estoy nuevamente aquí, en la puerta del baño. No hay nadie acá. No hay nadie. Y allá tampoco hay nadie. No hay nadie allá. Dios mío. Bueno, voy para adentro. La sangre de Cristo me cura. Hola, hola. Hola. Hola, hola. ¿Estás acá? ¿Dónde estás? Se prenden las luces. ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? Necesito otra prueba. Necesito otra prueba. ¡Ay, marica!
As terrifying as their experience was, this wasn't even the worst of what many had reported. Some claimed that faucets would turn on by themselves, doors would slam shut even when there was no draft, and the echo of footsteps that never seemed to belong to anyone. A few even swore they saw shadows moving beneath stall doors when no one was inside. No one knows what to do about the situation, and those who know fear doing something about it and getting caught. After all, it would be hard to explain why you're sprinkling holy water, burning sage, or chanting prayers in a mall restroom, especially to a boss who doesn't believe in ghosts. This next clip was captured by a man who has been experiencing very strange things in his house for a long time, and according to him, it's gotten more annoying than scary. Have a look.
I really don't think I'm ever gonna be able to escape this shit. Listen to it. Listen to that pedaling. Jesus. I mean, this is my whole closet right here. It's my kitchen. And here we go with this shit again. We're just gonna wait and see how long it goes. It's never not. Stop! Okay, that works. Okay, so it seems to be wanting to happen now more in the afternoon. Just to prove there's nothing there. Jesus Christ. This is the cord in question, the coax cable, and you can see here it goes directly from here down to my Wi-Fi. So I could, I guess, open it like this, but one, I would probably be in the way of the camera here since I'm standing here, but let's try and test this. Here's the door latched all the way shut. I mean, I'm pulling on that pretty hard and it doesn't come out. But if I were to do this and open it, that just kind of pulls the Wi-Fi back. So, I mean, if this cord was the thing that was pulling it, this probably would have knocked off, but I don't know. Yes, absolutely we can, because I think everyone is obsessed with this and the fact that I do not have it secured. But as you can see, this goes to my modem, and that is all. It's an old building, so in front of every apartment they've had to drill holes and then feed these in through, all this to kind of update it. But this building was built in 1932, and if you can't tell, hasn't really been updated too much since 1932. Oh. You gotta be kidding me.
This time it was his closet, swinging open on its own. Other times it's been his kitchen cabinet slamming shut in the middle of the night. He's even mentioned times when objects like his TV remote or keys disappear, only to reappear hours later in the exact same spot he swore he had already checked. At this point, he admits he's less terrified and more frustrated, because living in a house where you're constantly second-guessing whether you misplaced something or if something else is playing games with you gets exhausting. Viewers, however, had their own take on it. Some believe he might be dealing with a trickster spirit or poltergeist, something that thrives off causing chaos rather than harm. Others suggested the activity could be tied to him personally, claiming spirits sometimes attach themselves to a person instead of a place. Of course, the skeptics weighed in too, saying it's probably faulty wiring, uneven floors, or even air drafts causing the disturbances. But for those who've lived through similar unexplained chaos, they argue there's no mistaking the feeling of being toyed with by something you can't see. Now in this next clip, a lady named Brenda never lived alone before, but eventually got a place for herself. On the very first night in her new place alone, this happened.
Okay, first night in the new apartment, and Mabel has been doing this for about the last 5 minutes straight. She is watching something. And yeah, the fan is on, but there's like no shadows. Oh look, see? What is it, May? Mabel, come here. What is it? There are no bugs. Her ears are perked, and she's watching something. See? What the heck? What the heck? Mabel. Okay, right before she came in the door, there was a light. A little ball of light that came in the door right there. What is she chasing? This is like 10 minutes straight. What the hell? She has never acted like this. What is she chasing? There are no bugs. There are no mice. Mabel, what did you go under the bed for?
So, yeah, I get to sleep here tonight. Mabel, get up here. Come here. Get up here. Lay down. So, I guess we're gonna try to sleep. I'll give you an update in the morning. Good night.
Many are of the opinion that a new place means new sounds, pipes settling, wood expanding, neighbors moving around, saying she'll get more relaxed after the newness goes away. But some people don't like to wait until something happens the second time before they take action, so she already saged and said a prayer through the whole apartment. Especially after hearing comments about the way her dog reacted, like it could hear something moving inside the wall. Some viewers think that's the clearest sign something paranormal might be going on, since animals are believed to sense things we can't. Others speculate it could be rodents or plumbing in the walls, but Brenda says she had the place inspected before moving in, and nothing unusual was found. So is Brenda dealing with a haunted apartment, or is it simply the unsettling adjustment of living alone for the first time? You decide. This next clip also has to do with how animals so often seem to know and see things we don't. A few weeks before Kevin filmed this, the house had been giving the family little nudges that something wasn't right. A bedroom light that would blink when nobody touched the switch, toys left neatly on the floor found scattered as if played with, and the faint sound of somebody pacing down the upstairs corridor. The family chalked some of it up to creaky old floors and a loose wiring issue, but the dog's behavior kept everyone uneasy. It started sleeping at the foot of the stairs, refusing to go into one hallway after dusk, and once woke the whole house by growling at an empty corner for a solid 5 minutes. On the day Kevin was home alone when this happened. Watch.
What do you hear, buddy?
A few people who slowed the footage down and bumped up the brightness insist they saw something slide past the wall where the dog was staring. Others say it's only a trick of light and compression, but the way the dog reacted before and after the moment makes it hard to dismiss. So what could be going on? And if you had to pick the next move to get rid of whatever or whoever is causing this, what would you try first? A house cleansing, or prayers, calling a medium, a structural or pest inspection to rule out a mundane cause, or just moving out altogether? I'd love to hear your thoughts. This next video comes from Ayers, who says everything went sideways after she and a friend tried a Ouija board. For anyone who doesn't know, a Ouija board is a flat board printed with letters, numbers, and words like yes and no that people use to try to communicate with spirits. Participants lightly rest their fingers on a planchette and wait for it to move. Skeptics call it ideomotor effect and harmless party trick. Believers warn it can open doors you don't want opened. Stories about Ouija sessions often include anything from sudden mood shifts and nightmares to persistent disturbances that won't leave long after the board is packed away. In other words, it can go badly if you don't know what you're doing. One night, after swearing she'd never touch one again, Ayers woke up to this. Watch.
Just seen my tape move at the side there, so I've just grabbed my iPhone to record it. It was moving.
She says she stopped using the board, but the activity only got worse. The kind of escalation people often link to a session that went wrong. That fits several common theories. Maybe the session created an attachment that ignored her intention to stop. Maybe it left a residual pattern in the house that whatever's sensitive to that energy keeps replaying. Or, the darkest possibility viewers floated, the Ouija invited something that doesn't respect boundaries and stuck around. A few nights later, she set her camera because she'd been feeling watched while waiting for a friend. Watch.
Well, that escalated quickly. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 unexpected movie deaths. It goes without saying that this entire list is one giant spoiler, so...
Any spirits here?
Number 10, Carolyn Fry, Pitch Black. This flawed hero crash lands on a deserted planet with primitive criminal Riddick in tow. Clearly the protagonist we're meant to root for. Fry spends the movie keeping him and the shady monsters at bay, so we shouldn't be shocked that she bites it. But, sigh, we are. Just as she redeems herself, that sense of they're gonna escape sets in. Then, boom. Down with less than 5 minutes left. Number 9, Dick Halloran, The Shining.
A few nights later, she woke to her kitchen completely upside down, and no signs of forced entry. She rearranged everything, but left a camera in the kitchen in case it happened again. Take a look at what happened.
Come on, I've just heard you.
So how do we tie this together? Whatever the cause, the pattern is classic in haunted house lore. Someone experiments with a gateway, the weirdness starts, it grows more aggressive, and even stopping the ritual doesn't always stop the activity. So are these events truly linked to that one session, or is there a different explanation she hasn't found yet? I'll leave that to you. This clip was recorded at a small family birthday party in a very old house, the kind of place with creaky floorboards and stories in every room. Watch.
This is Christina's birthday party, and everyone at it, there's Brianna, her little cousin, there's Haley, her other cousin, and there's her daddy Tommy. Hello. And here's her Aunt Misty, and here's her Uncle Joey. What up with it? What up with it? Alrighty, let's go with this. Daddy lighting the candles.
So we can get you a little cake on camera so we can remember your party. And we'll give the happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chrissy. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Blow your candles out, girl.
She gonna blow it up? Yeah.
You gonna cut the cake out, Mom, or you want me to?
Go ahead, I'm running the camera.
Alrighty.
Daddy's cutting the cake.
Did you like the bicycle and stuff you got for your birthday?
Oh my God, Tommy, it's gonna start again. Oh my God, damn.
It ain't gonna mess everything up.
He's gonna mess this up for everybody now.
Come on, sissy. Come on, baby, come on. I don't know what's gonna happen. Come on. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, baby. Seems like it's messing everything in 4 seconds. It's okay, it'll be alright.
God, I can't. We should have had this at Jerry's house.
Okay, it might not
It's
do
just
anything else, okay?
this stuff is starting again.
You're alright. I'm sorry, sweetie. You okay? I'm so sorry.
God damn! Oh God!
What the hell is going on? Go to the front room. Go to the front room, girls. Go.
Oh God! Oh my God!
Miss, let's get out of here. Come on. Let's go to the living room. Go.
It's unsettling enough when strange things happen on ordinary days, but when they occur during moments meant to be joyful and unforgettable, like a birthday, it leaves a mark that's hard to shake. Disturbances like this don't just ruin the moment, they stay in your memory, and sometimes when the next birthday comes around, part of you can't help but replay the entire incident, silently hoping it doesn't happen again. The family never posted any follow-up videos, so there are no updates on whether the activity continued or stopped. So till now, what happened in this clip remains a mystery. The following video was captured by Sarah and her friend Sean when they went to check out an abandoned building nobody in town goes near anymore. Watch this.
Hello? Was that your stomach? Was it? No. It wasn't? No. Amy, stop. No, it wasn't. That was not my What the fuck? What the fuck is it? Are you sure?
I'm not kidding.
Okay. We didn't even shut the door. That's okay. You promised though?
Yes.
It sounded like a... Right? It sounded like it was right next to us.
It sounded like hello.
Yeah, and it sounded like it was right next to us. Okay. Just one more time. You promise that wasn't your stomach?
Baby. Yes.
I mean, I heard you right after go. Alright, well, we got what we came for. I've never ran from something so fast in my life. Wait, I've been recording.
You'll notice the entity replied instantly and knocked back when they knocked, and when they said hello, a voice responded. They didn't waste any time. They rushed out of there, their nerves completely shot. But what they found out afterward made their brief encounter even more chilling. Locals later told them that years ago, the building had been used as a boarding house and that one of the tenants, a man who lived in the upper floor, was rumored to have died inside after being isolated and neglected. People say he spent his last days knocking on the walls, trying to get someone's attention, but no one ever came. Hearing that, Sarah and Sean couldn't shake the feeling that the knocks they heard weren't random creaks of an old building, but the desperate echo of someone still trying to answer back after all these years. Which makes you wonder, did they walk away from just another abandoned structure, or from a place where someone's voice is still waiting to be heard? Now, in this next clip, a man is describing the strange occurrences that have been plaguing his house when something else turns up on camera. Watch closely.
I've lived in this house for probably close to a year now, and I've never had anything happen here. I've never once thought that there was any kind of like haunting stuff going on or ghosts or anything like that. Until a couple weeks ago when I was given kind of a strange gift. I am really into like spooky decor, funeral home stuff, like all that. I love it. But a friend of mine messaged me and was like, hey, I'm at this estate sale and they have like all this funeral home stuff. Do you want any of it? They had an actual like embalming table, which I really wanted, but they were asking way too much money for it. They had all these old bottles and stuff like that. And I said, just give me something. And they ended up getting me these like lab grade like test tube things. And these are like legit Pyrex brand, like super high quality glass, right? Came from a funeral home. So I'm totally into it, right? So I bring them in the house, I clean them up, and I don't quite know where I'm gonna put them yet.
While he's mid-story, trying to explain the late-night noises and the odd chills, there's a figure standing just behind the door. Then, in a blink, it's gone. People jump to conclusions fast, calling it a malevolent presence, and it's easy to see why. The man had recently bought a handful of odd items at an estate sale, stuff that came from a closed funeral home. He chalked it up to quirky decor at first, but the soundscape around his house changed after that. Those delicate, high-pitched glass noises you get when a thin crystal or a lamp edge is tapped. A quick tinkle, a soft chime, the kind of clink that makes you turn your head. He'll hear those tiny glass notes echo through the night, check the room, and everything sits exactly where it should. He's no stranger to spooky decor, he collects the macabre on purpose, but even he says this is different. The items arrived silent, the house didn't. Now, with a shadow appearing in the doorway while he talks about it, the line between coincidence and something far darker feels dangerously thin. So, was that a trick of light, a camera artifact, or something that shouldn't be in his house at all? You decide. The lady in the next clip woke up at 4:19 a.m. by the sound of something heavy hitting the floor. A crash that made her heart pound, but when she got up to look, there was nothing out of place. She'd had a recent scare. Someone tried the front door a few nights earlier, so she didn't want to dismiss it. She pulled up the footage from the cameras she'd installed after the near break-in, and this is what she found. Watch. When she posted the clip, a few viewers suggested poltergeist-style activity, objects thrown or toppled by an unseen force when tensions or emotions are high in a home. She wants this to be a one-off, and she's already told close family it's probably nothing and that she'll double-check the hooks. But she also admits she sleeps with a lamp on now and checks the locks twice. So what do you think? Something to overlook, or something that shouldn't be dismissed that easily? I'll leave this one with you. This next clip was captured by another friendly ghost believer who claims the ghost haunting her house actually listens to her. Watch this.
So guys, my door. There's a ghost in my room and it closes my door. It's gonna be a while, but you're gonna see it. Come on, close it. You're almost there. Close my door. Close it. No, I don't want you to open it. Close it. Just close it already. Do it. Come on. I do not have all fucking day. Close it so I can go to sleep. Thank you, I guess.
Several people brushed it off as coincidence, but she insists otherwise. She says there are moments when she asks the ghost to stop slamming doors or to turn the lights back off, and to her surprise, it does. Sometimes it even feels like the activity changes depending on her mood, calmer when she's calm, louder when she's upset, almost as if it's responding to her. But isn't there a reason the words ghost and haunting are so often paired together? The very word haunting suggests something unsettling, a presence that lingers where it doesn't belong. Still, there are those who believe not all hauntings are meant to frighten. Some say spirits can linger out of attachment, sarmi, to a person, a place, or even a routine. And in those cases, they might not be hostile at all. They might even try to coexist in their own strange way. Others argue that what seems friendly could be a trick, pointing out that a presence that starts off harmless may shift over time, wearing down trust before revealing darker intentions. So, would you welcome a presence like this, or would you be looking for a way out? Now, this next video is about a man who believes his late wife's ghost is haunting him, and he claims he has several CCTV footage to prove it. Watch this.
Guys, this is just a quick update because I gotta get to work, but when I got up this morning to get my coffee, I walked into the kitchen and saw this. So I guess you guys were right that activity seems to be picking up because I have been, doing renovations. I replaced all this stuff, this dishwasher, this stove, the oven hood there, but this morning when I came into the kitchen, I noticed the cabinet was open, and then I noticed this chair. So I checked the Ring video, and it definitely
If it really is her, then it seems she doesn't approve of the new renovations he's made around the house. But that's not the only thing he's had to deal with. He says the TV sometimes switches to her favorite shows late at night, no matter what channel he leaves it on. He's found picture frames of them together moved to the floor, almost as if someone didn't want them displayed. And more than once, he's woken up to the faint scent of her perfume lingering in their bedroom, even though the bottle has been empty for years. At first, he thought it might have been comforting, like she was still with him. But now, with things being knocked over, lights flickering every time he talks about moving forward, and shadows caught on his cameras, it's starting to wear him down. So the real question is, if this truly is his wife's spirit, how does he find peace without feeling like he's abandoning her memory? And if it isn't her, then what exactly is haunting him, and how does he ever escape it? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. The following clip was recorded by a woman who runs a cleaning business and spent the day at a mansion where the previous owners said every cat in the house had died in the same room. While she worked, she noticed a tiny movement just out of the corner of her eye, and at one point, a shadow that didn't match anything in the room. She shook it off because the work had to be done, but the house lingered with her. That night, after she left and tried to sleep, the nightmares began. She woke from a shallow dream of tiny paw prints crossing her kitchen floor and of a cramped, filthy room where something small and frightened tapped at a window that would never open. When she told friends, they chalked it up to the day's stress, until the next job proved otherwise.
Oigan, ¿qué es eso de ahí? No sé qué sea. ¿Escuchan? Se escucha como si golpearan la pared. Oigan, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué podrá ser? No sé si logran escuchar. Aquí ya me han apagado la luz anteriormente. Me da miedo pasar por el pasillo. ¿Escucharon? Hello. Ay, no. Ya me quiero ir, estoy esperando la ropa, ya me quiero ir. Se está escuchando muchísimos ruidos. Escucha que gritan. ¿Qué será? Voy a poner la segunda parte. Se están escuchando muchísimas voces. Me tengo que ir.
The next job she had was at a house where the owner took his own life, and as she finished cleaning, she saw something strange.
Si a donde te acabas de mudar te espantan, has vivido o estás viviendo en un apartamento, miren chicos, esos dedos también se mira como marca de dedos. Es increíble cómo va a ser esa marca ahí si ya limpiamos. Además se ve como que si se hubiera agarrado de allá arriba. Puedo creerlo. Es que ya aquí prácticamente ya se terminó. Nada más es recoger eso y vámonos. Ya vámonos, güey. ¿Escuchaste la puerta? Ya vámonos. Sí. Ahorita te ayudo ahí. Sí. ¿Escuchaste cómo se escuchó la puerta? Sí. Ya nada más nos falta terminar aquí para irnos. ¿Miraste la mano que se quedó en el refri? Está de arriba. Así que, sí, ahí arriba. Ponme un comentario si donde vives espantan. No, ya sé, ya nos vamos a ir. O sabes que haya pasado algún crimen, algo malo, ponme un comentario.
The handprint was too small to be an adult's, and she'd cleaned every surface with bleach and steam. Nothing should have been left behind. People who follow her videos say her job makes her vulnerable, and that the work forces her into intimate spaces filled with memory, lies, and stale emotions. Luckily, she's found a way to protect herself, so taking anything home is not something she's worried about anymore. Now, in this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian continued his exploration at a cemetery near Timberlake Road with stories about the woman in white who lost her entire family in a single day and, unable to cope, ended her own life. As he walked deeper through the quiet street, he eventually found the cemetery where her family was laid to rest. And that's when things started happening.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I freaking sounds like children in there. I keep hearing like high-pitched voices. Hello? Ghostly children. Is that you I'm hearing? I definitely have the feeling that I am not alone in here. I am just waiting for something to pop out at me. Hello? Oh my god! Oh god, what the hell was that now? Freaking sounded like something rustling over here in one of these bushes. I mean, it could be an animal, to be fair. Hello? Dude, that was a freaking child's voice again. I'm getting freaked out already. I just barely entered this place.
At first, Ian pulled out his spirit box to try and open a line of communication, but before he could even focus on the static voices, something else caught his eye.
How old are you? What was that? What was that? Holy moly, something just flew by that freaking tree over there. Oh my god, what the heck was that? Hello?
A pale shape drifted just out of view, gone before he could get a clear look. And then, by one of the graves, he noticed something strange. A ball, perfectly still on the ground. Ian swore it wasn't there moments earlier, but as he raised his camera to take a few pictures, what he saw left him absolutely stunned.
Little boy or little girl, whoever you are, could you move this ball again, just like you did? Even just a little tiny bit. That would be wonderful. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god! What was that? Dude, something just showed up in that photo. It was a freaking figure. It was standing right there. Standing right by the freaking tombstone. Holy sh**. Oh my god. Holy crap, dude. It was literally just standing there. Vivid. It looked like a little kid. Short in stature. It was almost as tall as this freaking gravestone. I'm sorry, I hope I didn't scare you. You just kind of scared me a little bit. Oh my freaking god. I want to look back at that photo, but I want to keep taking them just in case something else shows up. I think I'm going to take a look at it. Oh my god, there it is. There it is. Holy shit, dude, that's like a freaking figure. It literally looks like a child. Oh my god. It literally looks like a freaking child standing there. Except it's like non-physical. Like a spirit. Oh my god, that is absolutely insane. Holy crap. I have got goosebumps everywhere right now. No way! No way! No way! It freaking just rolled over there now! Holy shit!
This was the moment Ian decided he'd gone far enough. He left the cemetery unsettled and unsure if he had just crossed paths with the woman in white herself, or if it was the restless spirits of her children reaching out through the silence. Either way, one thing is clear. Something still lingers here, and it doesn't want to be forgotten. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following clip was captured by a public security camera in Argentina on the night of August 22nd, 2025. Watch this. You can see the person walking down the street, and then, out of nowhere, they just disappear. The next morning, one of the security guards reviewing the footage thought his eyes were playing tricks on him, but after showing his colleagues, they all saw it too. Before long, the clip was making the rounds, and people were freaking out. That's when the rumors started. Some said it was the ghost of someone who died right there on that spot. Others said it was a warning, maybe a sign that something bad was about to happen. And of course, others thought it was nothing more than a camera glitch or a hoax, but no one could explain how the figure moved so naturally before fading away. And here's the thing, Belgrano Avenue in Tucumán already has a bit of a reputation. People in the nearby Barrio Belgrano area have talked for years about hearing a woman sobbing between 3 and 4 a.m., sometimes right outside their homes, sometimes down the road, like she's wandering. The sound never stays in one place, and no one's ever been brave enough to go find out who or what it is. So when this clip surfaced, it didn't take much for everyone to connect the dots. But like always, I'll let you decide what you think really happened here. Now, this next clip might remind you of a video we've shared here before. The woman with that creepy Elmo balloon that somehow climbs the stairs on its own and freaks her pets out. Since that first incident, her dogs have completely refused to come back inside the house, and even her cat acts strange whenever it's near the balloon. Restless, agitated, and constantly staring at it like it's alive. And if you remember, she also mentioned that someone once told her not to pop the balloon. According to them, whatever is trapped inside it would be released if she did. And that if she tried, the entity could either turn aggressive or attach itself to something else in her home. So instead of taking that risk, she's been recording everything that seems out of the ordinary. Watch this. Now, it's not just the strange movements anymore. If you listen closely, there's this faint moan in the background. And at first, she thought it was her pipes acting up, but with everything else that's been happening in that house, she's not so sure anymore. One night, around 9:27 p.m., things got worse. She and her husband heard knocking sounds again, loud and deliberate. Thinking it was someone at the door, they went downstairs, but no one was there. And that's when they realized the sound wasn't coming from outside at all. Watch this. It was coming from the same spot as before, right below the basement floor. After posting this clip, viewers had all kinds of theories, but one comment in particular really unsettled her. The person pointed out that 3 knocks or 3 scratches are often considered a demonic sign, a mockery of the Holy Trinity. And what made it worse? She admitted that she knocked back. Now everyone's divided on what's really going on here. Some believe there's something in that house using the Elmo balloon as a vessel, moving it around to get attention. Others think the balloon isn't the problem at all. It might actually be trying to warn her about whatever is lurking in that basement. Then there's a third theory, the more controversial one, that the entity might have attached itself to her, not the balloon, and that everything she's recording is only happening because it wants her to notice. Whatever the case may be, everyone watching seems to have their own theory. So which one do you believe? Is this a haunting, a warning, or something entirely explainable? The following video was recorded by a woman who had started noticing some really odd changes in her dog's behavior. It wasn't the usual dog barking at a shadow thing. This time, her pet seemed genuinely disturbed by something she couldn't see. Out of confusion and concern, she decided to start recording and posting what she was experiencing, hoping someone online could help her make sense of it. Watch this.
So, I'm recording this just in the off chance that no one believes me. Maybe I can catch it. And by the way, I have a freaking cemetery in my front yard, which probably doesn't help my cause. But I was just inside. I'm by myself with my dog. She's up in that room upstairs. You can really hear her working from here. It has me really freaked out. Josie? Josie? Yeah, she's just been staring at that, and then she started barking, and she growled, and when she growled, I kind of like booked it, but I don't really know, like, that's usually like her stance while she's waiting for me to come home, and I'm just like, is she waiting for someone to walk out of that closet? Like,
Now, let's be honest. The fact that there's a cemetery literally in her compound changes everything. It doesn't just make it creepy, it makes it deeply unsettling. Because suddenly, this isn't just about a dog reacting weirdly. There's history, there's energy, there's a place where people are buried, right where she lives. And that gives a whole new meaning to what's going on here. Some believe the dog might be reacting to the spirits of those buried there, maybe ones that haven't fully moved on. When she moved closer to the closet, this is what she saw.
I just don't really know what she's staring at. Because again, like, this is usually how she looks when she's waiting for me to come in, and I'm just like, what? What is it? What is it?
There was nothing there. Still, if you look closely, you can tell from the dog's expression that it saw something. Then came the next video, and this one had everyone's skin crawling. Watch this.
See, this is what I'm talking about. They literally just come and hang out here all the time now. It's a newer development. Like, why? They just kind of come and literally graze around this area. And they just kind of will freeze and won't move. So, yeah. What's up?
Out of nowhere, a group of cows wandered into the graveside. But instead of grazing or walking around, they gathered around and stood there, completely still, almost like they were drawn to that spot. And not just that, they seemed to form a loose circle around it. For several minutes, they didn't move. They just stood there, facing the same direction. The woman said they stayed that way for so long that it started to feel like they were performing some kind of ritual, or maybe guarding something. That scene alone sent the internet into overdrive. Comments started flooding in, everything from "this is definitely demonic" to "the cows are sensing energy from below." Some even said animals often behave strangely near haunted areas because they act as spiritual sensors. But then the woman posted an update that completely flipped everyone's theory. She said she actually knows the people buried there. The graves belong to her grandparents, and according to her, it was their wish to be buried on the property with their beloved cats. And that one detail threw everyone off, because suddenly this wasn't about some random haunting, it was about something personal. So if it's her grandparents buried there, what are the animals reacting to? Some believe her grandparents' spirits might still be around, trying to protect her. Others think the presence of the cats could be attracting energy or even creating a kind of spiritual link between the living and the dead. Things took another turn when she lost sight of her dog one night. She searched the house, called out, even checked corners until she finally found her in the last place she expected.
Josie. Josie, what's going on?
The dog was there by the graveside, perfectly still, just staring at something. She said it didn't growl or bark. It just watched, frozen. And that's when she said the uneasy feeling she'd been trying to ignore hit her all at once. Something wasn't right, but it didn't end there. There was another time she went out to collect food from a delivery driver, and right after stepping out the door, this happened. Watch.
Oh my god. Hi.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. Every freaking night, like even at night, they even come and hang out here, and they just like stand and like. Are you for real right now?
By this point, even people who were skeptical began to wonder if there was more to her story, and as if things weren't weird enough, she later shared another video that added an even stranger layer to the story.
Well, that's not creepy. Seriously, what are you two looking at? What is it? What is it? I don't know.
Now, it wasn't just her dog or the cows. Horses were drawn toward the same area. And when you've got dogs, cows, and horses all acting the same way, focused on the same spot, it's hard not to wonder what's really pulling their attention. Maybe it's her grandparents still watching over her, maybe it's something else entirely. But until she shares another update, this one remains one of those stories that gets under your skin and stays there. Because whatever's in that graveyard, it clearly isn't resting easy.